morning, everybody. Chuck, Angie, Paisley, the bear dog, Coda, here this morning in a beautiful part of East Tennessee on a nice, crisp, cool, early fall morning. We are currently in the parking lot at the entrance of Cades Cove Loop. And why are we here? Well, this time of year, we begin to see the earliest splashes of color in this area. Thousands of people come to this area at this time of year to see an incredible, beautiful display. Over the next few weeks, the leaves will gradually be transforming themselves into miraculous colors. And for this reason, and really any time of the year, it's beautiful. But when you come here and visit, it's really, you can imagine paradise on earth. And so we're grateful to have this natural beauty here in the area where we're at. We'll stop along the way and take pictures of interesting places. There are historic buildings here along with the natural beauty. So we'll put some links in the description to some more information about some of the sites that we will see. And as you're driving around here, it may make you reminiscent of simpler times, and it may make you curious about what the history of this area was. And if you want more information on that, I'm glad to let you know that as part of the Friends of Seymour Library's How We Live Then and Now programs, this Tuesday, October the 18th at 7 p.m., we'll begin another one of our programs. And this we'll have a very special guest speaker, and that will be archivist Mike Aday, who works for the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And he'll be doing a presentation on the history of the area, probably before the park was created, what led up to it, who lived here then, and the transformation that occurred, and what it's meant for the area. So really looking forward to that. That will be a live stream. We'll put a link to that as well, to some more information. If you subscribe to the channel and click notifications, then you'll be notified when we have events like that. Of course, it will be live streamed, but we'll also have a recording later. If you're unable to make it at that time, it'll be available for you to view at your pleasure. So anyway, we'll get out. We'll get ready to get started here on our trip around the loop. We look forward to this beautiful day in East Tennessee, and we'll visit again with you soon. Here is the beginning of Cades Cove Loop. Something you might want to keep in mind if you come. If you've been here before, this will not be a surprise, but if it's your first visit, you might want to keep in mind that you should bring your patience, because people frequently stop along the roadway to view wildlife, even simple things like horses that are kept here. Horse rides are available. If you want to go on a trip like that, you can book that while you're here and take a ride through the cove, through the wooded areas. Lots of other activities to do here too. What were you going to say, Paisley?
Yeah, Coda Bear loves the horses. He gets all frisky when he sees them.
Yeah. So, like I said, oftentimes people will come to a dead stop on the loop. Well, just be patient. They will eventually get moving again. There are volunteers that actually walk the loop to urge people to get back on their way. You'll see signs that say, be our idol, don't idle, encouraging people not to just stop with their vehicles on and emit what cars emit here in the park. Anyway, there's lots of beauty here. Like I said, you can start to see the splashes of color it won't be long before there will really be a beautiful display here of color on the trees. Hello friends. Well, we've come a little ways around the loop to a very popular destination. This is the trailhead of Abrams Falls. It's a really nice trail to a beautiful fall here in the park. Pleasant water feature, freely available. We've hiked here several times over the decades. It can be a little challenging coming out. It's a little easier going in than coming out. I always encourage people to really be prepared when you go on a hike, even if it's not a very long hike, because you never know what might happen along the way. Having some basic gear, like a backpack with some extra water in it, and first aid kit, and even a warming blanket. Who knows, perhaps you were injured and you had to be there overnight in the fall or the winter. You definitely want to be able to maintain your body heat and under those circumstances. Of course, those things are very rare, but time and unforeseen occurrence happen, and sometimes we don't know when that's going to be, so we try to be prepared. We're not going to do the hike today to Abrams Falls. We don't really have time for that, but wanted to stop here and give you an idea of the facilities here at the trailhead. It is clearly marked along Cades Cove Loop, so if you're driving slow, which you probably will be, you won't miss it. We come down a little gravel road here. They do have restroom facilities, it looks like now. They've done some upgrades, I think, since the last time I was here. So we'll get out and take a few pictures from this area, and then we'll get back on our way around the loop. Well, it looks like it's a busy early afternoon at the visitor center at the back of Cades Cove Loop. It's a gift shop back here, restrooms, historic buildings, a grist mill, all kinds of activities. We'll stop back here if we can find a parking spot. and take some pictures, give you a little glimpse into what this is about. What you doing?
Adjusting how fast the corn comes in here. At least trying to.
Are you making sorghum or
No, just grinding corn.
grinding
And,
corn?
Making corn flour, corn meal.
I'd say this requires a little bit of maintenance from time to time, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Just enough to show people how I grind. Not enough to do the whole thing at once. Back in the day, they did 150 pounds an hour. I wouldn't have a job if I did that.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Sir.
What's your name?
Just want me to talk.
So it looks like we're with Vicki Cook here this early afternoon in an early fall at Cades Cove Loop. What you got going on here, Vicki?
Well, this is a quilt that is made in the old style. It's a new quilt with fairly new materials, but made in the old style. It's a pattern called Grandmother's Flower Garden that was wildly popular in the 1920s and 30s. So if you have a quilt at home, take a look at it. It may be made from this pattern with the hexagons. It's all done by hand. I used cotton for the batting. That's the fluffy part, makes it nice and warm. And what I'm doing now is I'm joining the 3 layers together. I have my backing, which is just plain, and then the batting, and then my quilt top. And I'm joining it together. You can see these stitches along here. And when I get all done with that, it'll be a quilt. It's joining those 3 layers together that makes it a quilt.
Very nice work. I bet you bang out 5 or 6 of these a day.
Only in my dreams.
How long does it take you to
Well, I only work on this when I'm here demonstrating.
Okay.
And that's only once a week, so it's going to be a while.
Well, we appreciate the demonstration and the beautiful artwork there, visiting how things were done before they were mass produced.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They were intended to last.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, we've exited Cades Cove Loop. We are now at Cades Cove Campground, which is right next to the loop in the picnic area. As you can see, it's a very beautiful campground. It has very limited hookups though. No electricity or water is provided at most sites. There are a few exceptions. There are some limited power sites for people who have medical devices, perhaps a CPAP machine or something like that at night. But you have to request those special, and of course they're limited. Beautiful setting. We've camped here before, but it's been quite some time. We enjoyed it. Since there is no electric and you cannot run generators after a certain time of day, better, I think, to camp here during the cooler parts of the year. But different people are able to handle different conditions, so that's up to you. Just be aware of the limited hookups that are here. Great place for bicycles. There are nature trails nearby, of course, all throughout the park. Appalachian Trail, I believe, cuts close by here. Looks like there are quite a few openings right now. I'm actually really surprised to see all these campsites without anybody in them. I bet later today that won't be the case, though, as the weekend we'll probably see an influx of activity. Have you had a good time, Coda Bear?
Yes.
Because we came a little bit later in the day, we wanted the sun to be up higher in the sky for pictures. We didn't see as many animals as you might see on the loop. If you're wanting to see animals, probably early in the morning or just before dusk are the better times for that. We did see one deer, which we did not get a picture of, and we saw a bear, which we did get a picture of. Try to get that included somewhere in this tour of Cades Cove. So there's one section of the campground. I believe there are 2 or 3 different sections, and there are group area as well. So if you're coming with a large group, you can reserve those areas. Next, we'll head over to the picnic area, which is a wonderful place to visit too. Well, we made it around the loop, we made it through the campground, and we made it to a very pleasant part, the picnic area. It's just before you enter the parking lot for Cades Cove Loop. A number of picnic tables, and as you may hear behind me, the sound of flowing water, a stream, creek, that flows through here, actually on both sides of the campground. There are facilities here for restrooms and, of course, as I said, picnic tables for disposing of any waste you may create here. You need to be mindful that there are bears in the area, so never leave any food unattended, and clean up after yourself when you're done. How we treat the area and leave it clean or not can affect the wildlife, and bears that are accustomed to getting free food often wind up in trouble and dead because of the actions of humans. There are numerous signs posted around this picnic area and the campground and Cades Cove Loop for reminders of this and to give you further instruction on how to be bear wise, bear safe. One of the really pleasant things that I found today was not just the views. Like I said, we were a little early, so just splashes of colors. We're a little ways away from the full-on beauty of the changing of the leaves, but the aroma of a clean, natural area. Many of the fields had been recently cut, and that in combination with the native wildflowers that are here really fill the air with a pleasant aroma. Another thing that I'd forgotten about that I recall every time I get here, when you're driving around the loop and there's clouds in the sky, and to see the shadows that are made on the mountains as those clouds slowly drift by, creates a really peaceful and dreamlike setting. So there's a whole lot of reasons to come to this area. This is just one little pocket of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which I believe is the most visited national park in the United States, and for obvious reasons. We hope, if you haven't been able to, that you get to come sometime soon and experience it yourself. And we hope you enjoy your visit, not just in the park, but in the areas that surround it. Lots of natural beauty even outside the park. We've made other videos down in Townsend, just outside of the entrance, the bike trails there, and of course the Look Rock Tower that overlooks Maryville and other parts of Blount County. Lots to see. Most of it's free, so it's a great place to be with the family. We hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, comment. What do you like to do up here? What's your favorite part of Cades Cove Loop? And have you been to Abrams Falls? And what other nearby hikes are you interested in? Interested in what you find delightful to do. Until we meet again, have a great day.